The whispers coming out of the studio about this Jasper Jacks Enterprises storyline are sending chills down my spine. We are talking about a hostile takeover, secret identities, and a corporate bloodbath that is going to leave us all gasping for air. If you thought the WSB drama was intense, you have not seen anything yet. Am I the only one losing my mind over this? Let us talk about this mysterious, arrogant newcomer, Hudson Parker. This man waltzes into Port Charles, flashing his vice president title like he owns the entire city, and has the absolute audacity to offer Josslyn Jacks the CEO position of her father's company. We all know Jasper Jacks is off on some luxurious sailing adventure, but leaving his massive corporate empire vulnerable to a slithering snake like Hudson is a complete mess. Hudson thought he could just slide into town, pat the grieving, overwhelmed daughter on the head, and put her in a shiny figurehead position while he pulled all the malicious strings from the dark shadows. He thought Josslyn would just smile sweetly, sign the legal papers, and let him run Jasper Jacks Enterprises into the ground without asking a single question. But he is so incredibly wrong, and I am here for it. Josslyn is a WSB super spy now. She is not some naive little sorority girl who is going to be tied down to a boring corporate desk while a sleazy, corrupt executive embezzles her family's hard-earned fortune. We have literally watched this girl evolve into a highly trained operative who just brokered a massive, top-secret deal with the head of the WSB-Z to free Jason Morgan and Valentine Cassidy. She is playing in the big leagues now. So, what does she do when Hudson tries to box her into this CEO role? She makes a brilliant, earth-shattering decision that is going to leave Hudson completely paralyzed with fear. Instead of taking the CEO job herself, I am predicting with every fiber of my being that Josslyn is going to hand that immense corporate power straight to the one woman in Port Charles who strikes absolute terror into the hearts of corrupt men, her mother, Carly Spencer. Yes, guys, Carly Spencer at the helm of Jasper Jacks Enterprises. I am screaming just thinking about it. Can you imagine the sheer, unadulterated look of horror on Hudson's face when Carly Spencer struts into that pristine boardroom, slams her designer bag on the mahogany table, and announces that she is officially taking over Jax's legacy? It is pure, unadulterated television gold. Carly is the absolute perfect fit for this monumental task. She knows exactly how to run a ruthless business. She built the Metro Court from the ground up, she handled the chaos of Crimson, and she has survived literal mob wars that would make a corporate suit like Hudson Parker cry for his mommy. Giving the company to Carly is the ultimate power move, and it proves that Josslyn is thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone else. Jax and Carly have decades of complicated, passionate history. Despite their ups and downs, Jax has always respected Carly's fierce protective instincts. Josslyn knows that Carly will guard Jasper Jacks Enterprises like a mother bear protecting her cubs. Carly will not let some random vice president dismantle the empire that is meant to be Josslyn's birthright. This is exactly the kind of fierce, family-defending drama that we have been begging for. But ladies, this is where the outrageous writing usually comes in, and I am praying they do not mess this up and ruin the potential of this arc. Hudson is currently the vice president, and you just know deep down in your gut that he is running some kind of shady, illegal, complete mess of an operation behind the scenes. Think about it. Why did Ethan Lovett immediately pack his bags and flee Port Charles the second Hudson arrived in town? Because Hudson is dangerous. He is probably funneling millions of dollars, making illegal backroom deals, or maybe even working with the dark syndicate that Jen Sidwell was a part of. Hudson knows that if Carly becomes the CEO, his glorious days of embezzlement are completely numbered. Carly does not miss a thing. She cannot be manipulated with sweet talk, she cannot be bought with a fancy paycheck, and she certainly cannot be intimidated by a man in a cheap suit trying to throw his weight around. Hudson is going to realize that Carly will demand a full, ruthless forensic audit of Jasper Jacks Enterprises on her very first day in the office. She will tear through those financial records like a Category 5 hurricane, and she will expose every single dirty secret Hudson has been desperately trying to hide. Because of this impending doom, Hudson is going to make a desperate, highly dangerous decision. He is going to decide that Carly Spencer needs to be eliminated from the equation permanently. He is going to target Carly. I am utterly speechless at this point. Are the writers really going to put Carly in the crosshairs of another psychotic, power-hungry villain? This feels like a massive disrespect to the fans who just want to see Carly thrive and be happy for once. Hudson is not just going to try and legally fire her. I am absolutely terrified that he is going to orchestrate a violent physical attack or a deadly setup to get her out of the way before she officially takes power. We have already seen Carly crawling on the cold, hard floor of Windermere, literally fighting for her life against the monstrous Ross Cullum just weeks ago. Has the woman not suffered enough? Now she is going to be targeted by Hudson Parker in a ruthless corporate assassination plot? My heart cannot take this constant stress. It is an absolute heart-wrenching betrayal to watch her constantly be the victim of these maniacs. While Hudson is secretly plotting this heart-wrenching betrayal against Carly, he is going to try and play Josslyn like a cheap fiddle. This is where the story gets incredibly juicy and psychological, guys. Hudson is going to slither up to Josslyn with his fake sympathy and try to convince her that Carly is ruining her father's legacy. He will try to gaslight Josslyn, severely pressuring her to revoke Carly's CEO status and take the corporate throne herself. Hudson genuinely believes that Josslyn is a soft, grieving, easily confused daughter who can be manipulated into turning against her own mother. He thinks she is weak and gullible. He probably thinks that if he just talks smoothly enough about protecting Jax's vision, Josslyn will blindly follow his lead and sign Carly's termination papers. But oh, Hudson is making the biggest, most fatal mistake of his miserable, pathetic life. He has absolutely no idea that the young girl he is trying to manipulate is currently an active, highly trained, lethal operative for the World Security Bureau. Josslyn Jax is a literal super spy. She has survived terrifying shootouts, she has outsmarted international mercenaries, and she has the entire backing of Z. Hudson is bringing a plastic butter knife to a nuclear bazooka fight, and he does not even realize he is already dead in the water. I am literally bouncing in my seat thinking about how Josslyn is going to handle this arrogant fool. Instead of confronting him directly and showing her hand, Josslyn is going to play the ultimate long game. She will bat her eyelashes, pretend to be completely overwhelmed by the corporate pressure, and make Hudson think his disgusting manipulation is actually working. But the very second he turns his back, Josslyn is going to use every single WSB resource at her disposal to destroy him piece by piece. Josslyn is going to tap into the global intelligence network. She is going to track Hudson's hidden offshore bank accounts, hack into his highly encrypted emails, and uncover the massive, sprawling conspiracy he is running inside Jasper Jax Enterprises. The more she digs into his files, the more horrifying the truth will become. She is going to find out that Hudson is not just a greedy, white-collar executive. He is part of a much larger, darker criminal syndicate that threatens everything Jax spent his life building. This is not just corporate espionage anymore. This is a full-blown shadow war. And when Josslyn discovers that Hudson is actively plotting to physically harm her mother, oh, it is completely over for him. You do not ever threaten Carly Spencer when her daughter is a government-trained assassin with unlimited resources. Josslyn is going to realize that Hudson is setting a deadly, inescapable trap for Carly. But instead of panicking or calling the PCPD, Josslyn is going to take that exact trap and flip it right back onto Hudson's head. She is going to orchestrate a WSB counter-operation that is so brilliant, so flawlessly executed, that even the legendary Jason Morgan would be standing up and applauding. I can see the climax playing out right now on my screen, and it is giving me absolute chill. Hudson is going to walk into the Jasper Jax Enterprises boardroom, fully believing that he has successfully eliminated Carly and secured his complete, undisputed control over the global empire. He will have his smug, disgusting little smile plastered on his face, ready to pop the expensive champagne and celebrate his victory. But then the heavy boardroom doors are going to fly open, and Carly Spencer is going to walk in, looking like an absolute warrior queen. Hudson will be hyperventilating, sweating bullets, wondering how on earth Carly survived his foolproof trap. And right behind Carly, Josslyn is going to step into the room, dropping a massive, heavily classified WSB dossier right onto the center of the table. Josslyn is going to look Hudson dead in the eye and reveal that she knows absolutely everything. Every stolen dollar, every illegal wire transfer, and every pathetic, cowardly attempt he made on her mother's life. The absolute shock on Hudson's face when he realizes the naive daughter is actually the spy who just ended his entire existence is going to be the most satisfying television we have had in years. This storyline has the potential to be an absolute masterpiece if the writers do not turn it into a complete mess. We need to see Carly and Josslyn fighting side by side, a mother-daughter powerhouse taking down the corrupt men who think they can steal their family's legacy. I am so incredibly invested in this, guys. If Hudson Parker thinks he can mess with the Spencer women, he is about to learn a very painful, very permanent lesson. I cannot wait for Monday.